Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Matt with Highline Financial Coaching. This is On the Money with Matt. Today we are talking about one of my least favorite things to pay. And today we're going to talk about some of the negatives of paying taxes. Also, there are a few positives about paying taxes, and we're going to go over that. The Highline Financial Coaching, we work with a lot of individuals and small businesses that understanding their tax strategies is a way that they can definitely increase their cash flow every single month, reduce the liability that they have for taxes, and be able to get into a better position. But we're also going to talk about how many times you're taxed on things, because a lot of times you look at your income tax and say, hey, I'm getting taxed maybe 25%, but we're going to look at all the other things that you get taxed on as well. So hang on. We're going to look at these different options. But first, we are going to understand the multiple times that we are taxed. So we're going to go over that. For everyone, if you work for a company, you're going to look at your paycheck at the end of the day, and you're going to see all these things that are taken out of your check. There's your gross paycheck, which is all the money that you earn during that pay period. And then there's the net paycheck, that is the paycheck after your taxes, after all the things that the government takes out for Social Security, for Medicare. Also, you may have things that are taken out for insurance or 401k. So your net is the amount that you have at the end. So know that that's not all taxes, but there's forms of that that are similar to taxes. So first, you have your income tax. And Uncle Sam takes a huge chunk of that. So depending on where you fit in the income scale, you can pay anywhere from 18 to 40%. And guess what? The more money you make, the higher percentage the government takes of your money. So that really incentivizes you to get more and more money. So most people sit, if you're making roughly less than $300,000. That's where the 300s where you really see a huge increase of the percentage that you pay in your income tax. So that's the first thing you pay. So anywhere from 18 to 40% right out of the gate, you lose right off the top. Then you have sales tax. So depending on where you live, if you live in one of those wonderful cities that doesn't have any sales tax, congratulations. You can fall asleep during this section. So most of us have sales tax, and here in Utah, it's roughly 7.5%. So everything that we purchase, you have to pay an additional 7.5% on whatever that is. So my wife and I, we had to get a car just recently, and you go into the dealership, they give you the price of the car, and then you go talk to the finance person, and you realize that car's thousands of dollars more than you thought it was going to be. Well, a big portion of that is taxes, and guess what? On a new vehicle, you get to pay all the taxes up front, even if you pull a loan on that vehicle. So you have to pay it all up front. You're not paying it spaced out over the lifetime of the loan. You get to pay that wonderful tax payment right out of the gate. And so that's why when you go buy a car, it really is thousands of dollars more, and that's without them adding on any other special packages to the vehicle. That's just the taxes that are involved. If you sell a used vehicle to someone, they take that title into the DMV charges them taxes right away. So the second that they have to pay all those taxes before they can even register the vehicle. So you got income tax, sales tax, tax on vehicles, also property tax, which this one is always fun because you think if you pay off your house, you own the house. Well, yeah, technically you own the house, but the government can still take it away because of taxes. If you don't pay your taxes every single year, which those taxes, depending where you're at, I've seen some on the East Coast, some in the larger cities that the taxes are more than the mortgage payment sometimes. So they can be really high. I live in Utah. It's pretty reasonable. And I think we're a couple $100 a month that's added to our mortgage for our taxes. So, and those taxes go up. They have some. If house prices go up, your taxes go up. So they tax you based on a hypothetical number that you would sell your house for. So that's why if you ever wondered why your mortgage goes up, it's because your taxes keep going up. Now, I guess the one of the benefits would be if your house goes down, your taxes go down. But it always seems like they're a little slower to assess your property when taxes go down. So you've got property tax. So technically you can never own all of your house or your property. And then capital gains tax. This is always a fun one. So if you go out and buy an investment property and you decide that you want to sell that investment property, you are going to pay capital gains taxes. Now there's some other tax strategies you can do with all of these to be able to limit that liability and make it so that you can invest it correctly. But capital gains, you get to pay a huge amount, and that's always a hot topic with the politicians and election time. But capital gains tax is something that you will pay on an investment property. Now, your own property, if you've lived in it for a couple of years or more, you are able to sell that, and the tax burden is not there. There shouldn't be much of a tax burden on that. But when it's investment properties, that's different. And if you're selling assets that are under your business, the capital gains can be 15% or more. So again, 40% income tax, 7.5% sales tax, property tax, a couple percent on that. You can just see this just keeps adding up and up and up and up. And then estate tax. This one is always one of my favorites, estate taxes. So if you have somebody that passes away and they decided to give their children, their friends, their family, their estate, there is estate taxes. So even when you die, they tax the money that has been taxed multiple times. So this can be a huge burden for families if, let's say, you inherit a house that's worth a couple $1 million. That house, you will have, if it fits into the laws that are in place, there may be a big portion of that house that you have to pay for a tax burden. So you may get the house for free, but you may have to come up with a big chunk of money to cover those taxes. Now, there is a portion of estates that is not taxed, and that number goes up and down depending on which politicians are in office or what they're doing with that. But just know that there is an estate tax that you can fall into. So if you are inheriting money or things like that, make sure that you reserve some of that just in case, or talk to your tax attorney or accountant to make sure that you're covered by that. So now the real thing is all of these taxes can add up significantly, and especially if you're a small business owner. If you've gone through the whole year, you've earned money, you haven't really been up to date on your taxes, you may come to the first of next year and realize that you've got a big tax burden. So, and the government makes sure that they get that. So if there's ever a time when you file your taxes and there should be a refund, if you owe any taxes, that goes straight to them. They don't even ask for it, they just take it. So that's something, one of the things we work with small business owners is trying to make sure that your taxes are up to date and ready to go, because this can be something very critical with your finances. Also, the tax strategies, the reason that the wealthy don't pay as much in taxes is because they have the right people in place. If you feel like you've got a heavy tax burden, you want to find a good accountant. You want to find an accountant that can help you. There are so many deductions in our tax code. The tax code's like a 1,200-page document. So a document that's probably bigger than all those books that I got back there. So, and there's a reason. It's confusing as heck, and it's something that none of us are going to understand, but you want to make sure you have a good accountant. Most of the time, a good accountant is going to save you more money than they charge. I know mine does every single year. So you want to make sure that you've got those benefits in place. There are tax deductions for children, for your properties, interest that you're paying, health care. There are a lot of deductions that are open to us. as individuals, and we want to make sure that you take advantage of those because it's your money. This is your money, and we want to make sure that you're able to keep as much of that as possible. So paying taxes is part of life. This is not a video saying that you can stop paying your taxes. The good thing about paying taxes means you made money. You made money, and you're gaining and moving in the right direction. Now, what we want to do is make sure that that liability is as low as possible, because we all know that we know better than the people we pay our taxes to how to use our money. We want to make sure that money's going toward our families, toward others. Even if we donated it and helping our community, it's a better place to be than these other locations. So that's where we want to, here at Highline Financial Coaching, we love helping people get into that position where they can see the benefit of tax strategies and tax benefits and utilizing that. And that the more information you know, the better people you have in place, like a great accountant, that's going to help you move forward. My accountant every single year saves me more money than I pay him, far more, probably 20 times more than I pay him to do my taxes. And it has been huge benefit for us. So if you like this video, subscribe, please send this to others. Right now, this is a hot topic. Taxes are a very hot topic during an election year. Learn as much as you can, figure out which direction you want to go with that, because taxes really can hurt people or help people in multiple different areas. So this is Matt. This is On the Money with Matt and Highline Financial Coaching. Have a great weekend, everyone.